ricerca in alcune università ben specifiche degli Stati Uniti dove noi abbiamo dei programmi congiunti. So it is my pleasure this evening to welcome a number of US universities who we partner with and promote joint programs. I will only speak for a minute because we have a very full session ahead of us, and I don't want to steal anybody's time. I just want to say that we are going to give, Laura will give a presentation on the grant available at Polytechnic, Florida, because for very obvious reasons, unfortunately, their representatives cannot be online with us this evening due to the weather conditions in Florida. And I'm happy so that today we will present a program at the International Computer Science Institute, at Seton Hall University, at Georgetown University, and a program in research for the illness GNAAO. I've never said the acronym in English, so I hope I said it right. All right, so thank you everyone, and I'll give the floor right to Sean Ness, who will speak about computer science in the US, and we have an alumna, Eleonora Losiuk, who has participated in this program, and she'll give just a few words about her experience at the center. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. My name is Sean Ness. I'm the Chief of Staff at ICSI. Dr. Leah Shanley sends her regrets. She is currently on the east coast of Florida, protecting her family and dealing with the aftermath of Hurricane Milton. I'll give a brief overview of ICSI and our history, and then share some time with Eleonora, who was just introduced, who's our most recent postdoc scholar from this program. So without further ado, ICSI is an independent nonprofit research institute that focuses on scientific excellence and social impact. We see ourselves as a boundary-spanning organization covering academia, government, industry, and the nonprofit space, and like to really dive deep into the computing and data sciences. We have a number of faculty and postdocs and graduate students that support this work on an ongoing basis. We're located one block from the UC Berkeley campus and just down the hill from the Lawrence Berkeley National Lab. If you go across the bay over in San Francisco, lots of AI research is going on, and a little farther south, you see Stanford University in the greater Silicon Valley. This is a domain area that is huge in world-class innovation. It's an ecosystem that we love to participate in, and we see ourselves being able to translate ideas into impact with this greater community. I recently said computing and data sciences, those are two areas that seem to be the glue that bring together all of the sciences. Big data, AI, algorithms, every discipline seems to use it. And so we leverage that and try to be as interdisciplinary as possible by looking at lots of different fields and sectors. You see those down below. And we see ourselves as a little different. We're one of those few independent nonprofit research institutes that are out there. We see ourselves as being collaborative, promoting big ideas. We don't like to play it safe. There's lots of things that we can do beyond just submitting papers. We can dive into the creation of data sets. We can help create software that can be used in the open source world, start startups, direct policy through conversations at the state and national level, and also build capacity around computing and the data sciences. We also look at ourselves as an inclusive environment and try to promote this collaboration across this wide variety of people and backgrounds that come to us. We've hosted more than 600 postdocs over the last few decades, and we would love to continue that with folks from Italy. Kirti Talam here is one of those postdoc scholars that's been with us for a couple of years. She gets a chance to work on ICSI research projects, her own research, and also works up the hill at Lawrence Berkeley National Lab, and she can testify about the inclusive nature of our organization. Publications, I kind of poo-pooed that, but we do publish and publish often. We've been cited hundreds of thousands of times, and some of our researchers have H indexes well over the 100 mark. Some of these researchers also have received various awards and honors, some of them of a very significant level. So it's a community of wonderful people here at ICSI. So what makes us a great place for postdocs? First off, you'd be collaborating with a team or a cohort of people, not just you by yourself, but there's a team. I think pre-COVID, we would have 2 to 3 dozen researchers. We're trying to inch back up there from that COVID lull and get back to that couple dozen space. But there's a cohort of researchers that you'd be rubbing shoulders with while you're here. You have access to lots of experts across many different disciplines. UC Berkeley is a hub for basic research, so is Berkeley Lab, and they're very close to us. And finally, we want you to thrive during your time here in California. We'll take care of that back end stuff, the visas, the lodging, and all the other stuff that are kind of a nuisance of coming abroad. We deal with that in a very easy, special way. One of our group research leads from the Robust Deep Learning Group is Dr. Ben Erickson. This is Ben. He sees us as a friendly and lively place. Another group research lead is Dr. Michael Mahoney. He also serves as the vice president of ICSI. He has ties to Berkeley as an adjunct professor and also split some of his time up at Berkeley Lab. So he's one of those well-connected people that can really help dive deep into interdisciplinary research and cross the traditional boundaries of computer science into places like water-related research or seismic activity using some of his techniques in research. At ICSI, you come here, each postdoc is paired with a very experienced mentor, either from ICSI proper, from Berkeley Lab, and these are noted leaders in their respective fields. They help provide guidance on research projects. They check in with you on an ongoing basis, provide you feedback, and connect you to their valuable academic and professional networks on an ongoing basis. They're also there to influence you on the way back, help write up a review for your work and serve as a reference point for you once you bounce back to your next step. Oliver here is one of those first postdoc visitors that we had way back in 1988 when we were created. He's currently serving his 3rd term as the president of the University of Potsdam. He's one of those avid supporters of ICSI and ongoing research that we do over there in Europe. I mentioned before, we're a host of several hundred international visitors. We're well represented by a wide range of countries throughout the years. So again, you get this really nice, diverse connection and collection of people while you're here. What do folks do after they spend time at ICSI? Most of them go back into academia. They go through the university space or the research space in academia, but some of them go on through the corporate world and do research at the corporate level, and some go into the startup space. A number of startups have had their roots here at ICSI, and we feel very strongly about the different paths that you can take as you advance your career. And then this will be shared with everybody, I think, on numerous occasions. The link to apply for the scholarship is provided here. And if you have any questions based on your location in Italy, there's 2 different email addresses for you to tie into. So that's it for my presentation. I want to introduce Eleonora, who's our most recent postdoc scholar from this program, and have her share a couple minutes of discourse about her time at ICSI. So, Eleonora, you're on mute right now. Perfect. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Sean. Hope you can hear me well. Think
Perfectly.
so. Okay.
We do.
So thank you. Yeah. So thank you for the nice introduction, and also thank you very much for inviting me. I'm very happy to share my experience as a Fulbrighter. It has been almost 3 years ago. Very briefly, I left for the US in September 2021, and the period abroad was expected to be 6 months. So I came back to Italy in March 2022. And my current position is assistant professor at the University of Padua. I'm working in cybersecurity, more specifically in Android security. More recently, I switched to LLMs, as I think most of us, most researchers, and also people from industry. And so at the time when I applied, I was looking for, of course, an exciting opportunity in the US. And I found out the call from the Fulbright ICSI, which was very appealing for me because I didn't know, I didn't have a connection beforehand. So I just wrote a proposal, and I actually looked for all the professors that were there in order to see if anyone was somehow overlapping. And there was a match, which was Professor Serge Egelman. So we didn't actually interact between each other before, like the whole selection. We had a very brief interview, but it was part of the selection procedure, and my hope was to be somehow selected by him. And the match at the end happened. So I visited his research group at ICSI, and he's doing a lot of stuff. He's still doing a lot of stuff and research in Android security. He also founded a very nice startup a few years ago, which was kind of successful because it was meant to be providing a network traffic analyzer for devices. And so, so I visited the Serge group. We established a nice research project, which was overlapping between my research activities and the ones that he was also doing at the time. And we recently managed to publish, so it took quite a lot of time, but after 3 years, we managed to have the publication out. The conference will be happening in December, so happy also to share that the outcome of this research period was also recognized by the scientific community. In terms of whole experience, comprehensive experience in Berkeley, for me, it was the first time in US in my life. So for me, it was also very important and very exciting to physically join the US and stay there for 6 months. So I appreciated a lot the environment, as shown previously shown. There are a lot of companies out there. San Francisco is very close, but also the Silicon Valleys. So there are a lot of opportunities to meet people, to have new contacts, and the environment is really exciting, as I said. In addition to this, I also would like to mention that I had the opportunity to meet a lot of Italian people that were there. Some of them were part of the alumni from the University of Padua. Some others were Fulbrighters. So there was a lot of surrounding environment that was somehow helping me, but also introducing me to several new people. So it was really also interesting from that point of view. And if I have to say, why choosing ICSI instead of trying to setting up an internship at UCB, I think that the strong point of ICSI is that ICSI is computer science oriented. So everyone there works in computer science, whether it is machine learning, cybersecurity, or a different topic. It's a comprehensive group that works on computer science. So you have the chance to meet several people and to exchange ideas, and also maybe start other collaborations. So it's pretty focused on this research area. And for me, this is the strongest point. Then, of course, part of the people come from UCB, so you can also maybe join them in other events, seminars, and talks, and have the full experience both in terms of what ICSI provides, but also what the very physically and geographically close UCB can provide. So overall, for me, it was a very interesting experience. And I would say that even in terms of academic career, it was a real boost, because when I came back to Italy, everyone was quite surprised about the Fulbright scholarship in Berkeley and so forth. So I would definitely recommend everyone to try to apply and give it a shot if you can. So no matter what is the final outcome, it is also always worth trying.
Allora, Eleonora, scusa se intervengo, è che dobbiamo chiudere possiamo magari dire che sei a disposizione se ci fossero candidati interessati ad ICSI, lo possiamo dire.
Yeah, sure. If you want to write me an email, my email address is public. As I said, I'm at the University of Padua, so you should be able to
get in touch
find me.
with you.
Yeah, sure.
Grazie. Thank you so much, Sean. Thank you, Eleonora. And so, Mary Kate and Jonathan, we pass it over to you. We turn it over to you.
Thank you very much. Can everyone hear me?
Sure.
Great. I have a little bit of a shaky connection. So my name is Mary Kate Natus. I'm an assistant provost at Seton Hall University, and I'll let my colleague introduce himself as I'm sharing my PowerPoint slides. So give me one moment. Go ahead, Jonathan.
I am Jonathan Farina. Nice to meet everybody. I am interim dean of the College of Arts and Sciences and a professor of English at Seton Hall.
Okay.
And Mary Kate's going to get started for us. And
yes, I'm pressing play. Jonathan, just let me know if they.
It looks like they're coming.
Okay, now we
There we
see
go.
it. Thank you. Oh, there's maybe a connection issue.
Yeah, there seems to be a little bit of a connection issue. Can you hear me now?
Now we do.
Okay, thank you. Sorry about that, everyone. Dean Farina and I are delighted to talk a little bit about Seton Hall University, the various academic programs that we offer that will be attractive to hopefully many of you on the call today for your Fulbright Scholar experiences. Seton Hall University is a private Catholic university located about 30 minutes outside of New York City. We were founded in 1856. We are one of the oldest diocesan universities in the United States, and it is a very warm, welcoming community. We care for the mind, the heart, and the spirit. Dean Farina is going to share a little bit more with you about the various academic schools and colleges on our campus. We do have 3 different campus locations, which he'll also share a little bit about as well. But for most of the Fulbright scholars, we believe that you would be thinking about our South Orange campus, which you see in the photo there. So we have a couple other photos throughout the presentation. We have advantages of a large research university, along with the benefits of a small, nurturing community. So we tend to have the kind of campus where many faculty, administrators, students know each other's names. It's a very, again, friendly environment for a scholar experience, for students to experience as well. And we also have that proximity to New York City for access to industry, to culture, to museums, to entertainment, and things like that. Sorry, I'm a little bit slow here. This is a little bit about our numbers, our undergrad versus student numbers. We have students here from over 70 different countries. We have a very diverse student population. And we also have faculty and administrators who have international experience. So that international feel and many languages are spoken here also makes it a welcoming environment for research scholars. Our faculty are exceptional. They are accomplished scholars, authors, teachers. Among our faculty members at Seton Hall, we have former ambassadors, many Fulbright scholars. We've recently appointed a Fulbright liaison who is helping other faculty and staff at Seton Hall to be placed in prestigious Fulbright positions, research positions around the globe. So we are interested in both hosting international scholars as well as sending out our faculty to engage in global research as well. We also have impressive outcomes among our students in terms of prestigious fellowships. So you can see a couple of them here on the slide, as well as industry positions that many of our Seton Hall alumni hold in the workforce. We do have a School of Law, which Jonathan will show you a little bit more about in a moment. Our Fulbright positions are somewhat flexible. We've highlighted a few areas that we think might be of interest to many of you who are participating in today's call, but we emphasize our STEM fields that we offer here at Seton Hall, including computer science, engineering, data science, which Jonathan is the dean of our Arts and Sciences College, so he'll share much more detail about that as well. We are also flexible in designing a schedule for teaching, research, collaboration while our Fulbright scholars are here at Seton Hall. And as many of our other colleges on the call, we will assign you a research mentor and a faculty liaison who will be your guide throughout the process. And they're very, very excited to be hosting Fulbright scholars as well. Let's get through this. And I'm going to pass it over to Dean Jonathan Farina to talk a little bit about the academic programs and various units at Seton Hall, starting with his college.
Yeah, so the College of Arts and Sciences is our largest unit. It's about 50% of the university attends it on the undergraduate level, smaller amount, about 10% on the graduate level. The biggest program we have is in biology. And biology, we have programming from the doctoral level through the master's and undergraduate. Focus on molecular bioscience, viruses, vaccines, and disease resistance, and cancer biology. Chemistry, we have specialties in material science and engineering, particularly with environmental science and green chemistry, reducing toxic compounds into biodegradable and innocuous compounds. But a lot of work there, and what we're working on in the sciences is integration across the board between the programs so that students can take courses in chemistry, biology, data science, and physics at the same time and put together kind of unique degrees. So all of our faculty are good at working together, and a candidate in those areas would be welcomed to teach in multiple departments as they intersect in those fields. We are investing in computer science rather aggressively, including not just data engineering, but AI and cybersecurity as well. We have a popular undergraduate cybersecurity program, and the faculty are developing a graduate cybersecurity program as we speak. So candidates who are interested in cybersecurity would be quite appealing, as would candidates who are interested in applied computing across the disciplines. I'll just mention before we jump, Mary Kate, that one of the things we have in the arts and sciences is the Alberto Italian Studies Institute, which has a regular range of visiting scholars and talks in Italian studies. And a lot of our Fulbrights and other visiting scholars from Italy find a kind of second home there with people who speak Italian and are interested in Italian culture. So they have a visiting fellow of their own at all times. Right now we have Matteo Barrera from Pavia, I think he's from, and he's a European Commission scholar at the moment and has become friends with our current Fulbrights as well. Moving on to the School of Diplomacy and International Relations. This school has a Master's of Science as well as Master's of Arts, a great connection with the UN. So many of the courses actually visit the UN throughout the year, and certainly guests from this in this program would be able to visit diplomats and the UN in New York City, as well as Washington, D.C., which is a fairly easy train ride from our campus as well. The school, Stillman School of Business, again, comprehensive up to the MBA. We also have a bunch of STEM designated business programs, including business analytics, fintech, supply chain management, all of which are at the intersection of science and applied computing and business at the same time. Stillman really prides itself on experiential learning, so all the students get internships, a lot of relationships with New York City companies. And so one of the things that our current Fulbright was interested in was visiting Google offices in New York City. We have a contact there, so we'll be taking him into the city to see that. But again, our proximity is a nice suburban, kind of quiet, homey campus to the New York City, makes it very easy to interact between the two places, whether you're going to the New York Public Library or you're visiting a major corporation. That's kind of one of our biggest draws. As Mary Kitchen, we have a School of Human Development, Culture, and Media. This houses our School of Education, so for teacher development and for family and marriage therapy programs, but also the School of Communication, Media, and the Arts, which deals with everything from graphic design and website production to organizational communication, public relations, and strategic communication and leadership. So candidates there who might work in the digital arts at the intersection of organizational management and communication would be very appealing to us. Next is our interprofessional health. So as Mary Kate said, we have campuses in South Orange, New Jersey, which is right on the train line to New York City. We also have a law school in Newark. And then our health campus is in Nutley, New Jersey, which is a short drive away. That's where we house the School of Nursing and the School of Health and Medical Sciences, both of which have undergraduate and graduate programs. They're adjacent to a medical school, a full-service MD program. And the goal there is team-oriented interprofessional health education. So our nurses from the very beginning as undergraduates work alongside medical students in the MD program and alongside PA students in physical therapy and physician's assistant programs. Great facility, everything from, a state-of-the-art cadaver lab to robotic models patients. And many of our biology students end up passing through one of our graduate programs in health. Nursing, we do offer a PhD, a research PhD in nursing, as well as the Doctor of Nursing
Jonathan,
practice.
I'm sorry for interrupting you, but there are just a couple minutes left for your presentation, okay?
I'll wrap up real quick.
Okay, thank you.
Same goes for health and medical sciences. It has undergraduate and a PhD program. Lots of contact with the local hospitals. And lastly is our School of Law. School of Law, again, in Newark, even closer to New York City, right on the train line, adjacent to many other universities, including NJIT and Stevens. So plenty of space for collaboration. And we now have a law program for people who want to get their JDs in the United States, or the ability to practice in the United States. So if you have a law degree from Europe, you can get it with us. And so international collaboration will be great there as well. Mary Kate, and here's our current scholar, Giovanni Sciuma. As I said, he's having a great time. He's really become a part of the campus and enjoys hanging out across campus, going to a lot of the events. And he, as well as Mary Kate and I, would be happy to talk to anyone interested.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So, Toby, it's your turn. Thank you. Toby, on the bottom right. Okay. Probably you're mute because we cannot hear you. Okay, great.
So good evening, everyone. Welcome to hearing about the Georgetown University Fulbright program, which is a collaboration with the National Italian American Foundation here in the United States. And it's centered in a very special component of Georgetown University called the newly named Thrive Center for Children, Families, and Communities. As many of you may know, Georgetown University is one of the oldest universities in the country. It was founded in 1789, the same year that the U.S. Constitution was signed. It's the oldest Catholic and Jesuit university in the U.S., and we're very proud of our Jesuit traditions, which we hold quite dear to us, especially the concept of cura personalis, which means care for the whole person. And Georgetown University, and especially the Thrive Center, takes that mission very seriously on helping all our students and faculty and staff to feel welcomed and supportive within our environment. We also feel that although we've been around for a really long time and are very, very traditional in so many ways, we're very forward thinking and on the cutting edge of information, especially in the area of social justice, and helping all our students to be very inquisitive and questioning of their role in society. Our university is, although it is growing throughout the community of Washington, D.C., the main campus is centered in a very lovely part of Washington, D.C. called Georgetown, which is extremely old and quaint. And our university is sort of on the hillside of Georgetown, and it too is very special and very quaint. We do have campuses throughout Washington, D.C. Our main campus in Georgetown holds our College of Arts and Sciences, our business school, our medical school campus, and our School of Health. Downtown, which we call our Capitol campus, we have our Law Center and the School of Continuing Studies, and a growing sort of presence for undergraduates that are interested in very unique opportunities that that combine internships, especially within the federal government and on Capitol Hill, during their studies. So it's a sort of a learning, living, and interning sort of community, which is growing rapidly. The community of Washington, D.C. is pretty incredible. Although it seems to be a big city, it is actually rather small and very, very welcoming to everyone. Obviously, it is the home to the federal government. It's home to all the embassies from around the world. It is growing in its home for many of the major corporations, especially the major corporations' sort of lobbying efforts are all centered in Washington, D.C. It has all the sports teams. And what is really, really unique about being not only at Georgetown, but in Washington, D.C., you get speakers and opportunities from people all over the world. Everyone seems to find their way to Washington at some point in their career. And if they're lucky enough, they get to come to Georgetown to give us a talk. So we've heard from ambassadors, business leaders, presidents of countries, prime ministers on a regular basis, all open to all our students and faculty and staff. So as I said, our Fulbright program is centered in a very unique, independent component of the Department of Pediatrics within the medical school. It's called the Thrive Center for Children, Families, and Communities. It was formerly called the Georgetown University Center for Child and Human Development. Our mission continues and grows, that we have always existed to improve the quality of life for all children and youth. That includes children with special healthcare needs, children with developmental and other disabilities, and adults with disabilities and their families. We take family-centered care very, very seriously, and it's something that we promote to all our students. The Thrive Center is divided up into a whole variety of components that many of them would be of interest to the Fulbright scholars, and any of them the Fulbright scholars can be part of. So we are home to some very nationally known and very nationally exclusive centers, especially related to disability. Our expertise lies in early childhood intervention for infants and toddlers and preschoolers with disabilities, behavioral concerns, or other vulnerabilities. And we have a whole host of programs with faculty that are shared among all our centers. We currently have on staff now about 97 people, some of them in different roles. And because we are a remote center, some of our faculty and staff live all over the country. And certainly the Fulbright Scholar has access to all of those folks. So as I mentioned, our Fulbright program is funded through a partnership with the National Italian American Foundation and the Fulbright Commission with Georgetown, the Thrive Center. And we support teachers, Italian teachers, either middle or elementary school teachers, or as we've had in the past, university lecturers or researchers who are interested in early childhood intervention. And so far, since we've developed this relationship, we've had 3 wonderful Fulbrighters, who I'll talk about in a minute, each staying for a period of 4 to 6 months. So there are 3 Fulbrighters, 2 who are university professors, and then the third, Nadia Ferrante, is a teacher in an elementary school. All of them had interests in children with disabilities on different levels. And all of them have stayed in touch with us. We continue to collaborate, especially with Dr. Navarra at the University of Macerata. She and I have done a lot of work together, and we actually teach a course together in the summer at Georgetown's campus at the Villa La Balse outside of Florence. So I'm very fortunate that I get to spend a month or 6 weeks in Italy with my colleague Ilaria to teach our Georgetown students about the Montessori methods that are so popular in Italy. There's so many activities. These here, the ones that are listed here, are ones that have been found to be the most popular for our 3 Fulbrighters, especially participating in our certificate program on early intervention, our leadership education program, our LEND program, for learning about developmental disabilities through the lifespan, participating in our developmental evaluation clinic, which evaluates babies born premature on their development. So it gives the Fulbrights an experience of actually seeing how children are developing and the kinds of skills that are displayed at different ages. As part of the medical center, we also participate in pediatric grand rounds, child psychiatry grand rounds, and a whole variety of other kinds of learning opportunities. The Fulbright Scholar also teaches along with me in the course that I teach to undergraduates about children with disabilities. And probably one of the most important things the Fulbright Scholars experience is that they find out what a Hoya is, which is the question everyone has. Our mascot name is Hoya Saxa, and no one knows what that means. but you find out only when you come to Georgetown. And we're very proud of our mascot, Jack the Bulldog. And we welcome you to participate with us in our Fulbright program. We have found that our Fulbright program is one of the more special programs within the Thrive Center, and being able to interact with scholars from another country has only enriched our own teaching and experiences. So we welcome your applications and would love to have you next year with us.
Thank you, Toby. Thank you so much. Dottor Roncaglia, se siete pronti, potete partire.
See, hi everyone. Unfortunately, I don't have a presentation, so I think we'll go as it goes. So the story of our scholarship is the following. Our son has a very rare disease called GNA1, GNA01. The main centers for research in the world are actually in Italy and in the US. And so my wife, as you can tell, is American. I am 100% Italian. And the consequence of this is that we heard of the scholarship, we heard of a Fulbright. We know what Fulbright is. And so our desire was, together with the Fondazione that eventually also helped us putting everything together, and with Paola, was to create a joint link between the two main centers of research of our illness between Italy and the US. And so, in essence, we decided to kick in with this scholarship. And our hope and our long-term objective is to find a cure, or at least work towards a cure for our son, but to be honest, everyone else, not just my son, by basically collaborating with the two countries. I don't know if I should go in details of what specifically is the scholarship or what specifically is the illness of my son, but probably it's a bit premature, I think.
I will just add that this grant is open to PhD candidates in Italy who are doing their PhD and research on this disease in Italy for a period of 6 months. And they can choose the university in the United States where they would like to do their research. And we will be happy to facilitate them if they need any guidance in terms of what US university to choose to carry out their project. I will just wrap up there because we are running short of time, but please reach out to us if you have any questions about this grant.
May I add one just
Of
last
course,
remark?
of course.
So I think ours, of course, is an ultra rare disease. So we know it sounds very, very narrow, but actually because of that, it's quite important for us to be actually very open and look and make connections across different disciplines. So I think one of the areas, for example, that I personally have been very interested in is essentially also in the area of artificial intelligence and also new areas, because obviously when you work with a very small data set like ours, it's really important to look at data in a much broader way. So I think this is something that we're not looking for just narrow kind of existing research and study, but also kind of looking for new for basically scholars to really look at our disease and bring new perspectives. So this is something that we're really looking forward to from the Fulbright scholars.
Thank you, Jane. This is a great addition. Thank you so much. And as I said, if anyone is interested, please make sure to reach out to us, and we will also connect you with Paolo and Jane, with the foundation, and with the rest of the community in Italy. Thank you so much. So maybe, Laura, you can move forward and present the grant at, in Florida.
Certamente. Allora, adesso andiamo avanti velocemente. un po' troppo. Io presenterò in italiano perché andrò anche veloce, c'è poco tempo. Questa è la borsa di studio in ingegneria per l'Università Florida Polytechnic. Come vedete, questi sono i campi di studio che appunto sono coperti da questa opportunità. E questo per partecipare è necessario avere ovviamente un'affiliazione accademica presso un centro di ricerca o un'università italiani, ma anche europei. I destinatari sono quelli che vedete elencati ed è un'opportunità aperta anche a professori ordinari ed è possibile soggiornare per un semestre. Quindi vedete lì quali sono quelli indicati, 21.500 dollari è il finanziamento fino a quella cifra, contando che sono compresi dei benefit. Questi benefit Fulbright sono un contributo alle spese di viaggio di 1.100 euro, l'assicurazione sanitaria e la copertura delle spese per l'emissione del visto J1, che è il visto con cui si entra negli Stati Uniti. Inoltre c'è la partecipazione a quello che è il network degli ex borsisti Fulbright, che è sicuramente un network molto più sviluppato, molto più attivo negli Stati Uniti, dove è nato il programma, ma che vi permette di entrare a contatto con tutti coloro che sono stati borsisti anche in passato e che si occupano delle discipline più disparate, sicuramente anche della vostra e che sono in tutti i paesi del mondo. La scadenza per questi concorsi è il 5 febbraio, non è soltanto per il Florida Polytechnic, in realtà è per tutti i concorsi. Se qualora aveste un interesse per questo concorso o per gli altri, scriveteci e vi daremo i nominativi delle persone da contattare. Quindi, diciamo, oggi magari non c'è tempo per condividere queste informazioni, ma se voi scrivete a info@fulbright.it menzionando questo webinar, io condividerò le informazioni che abbiamo in modo che possiate mettervi in contatto direttamente con l'università di interesse. Infatti avevo ricevuto già una domanda di quelle ricevute era proprio specifica su questo e invito la persona che ha scritto la domanda a ricontattarmi a info@fulbright.it proprio per poter condividere il nominativo della persona incaricata appositamente per questo. Ehm, ok. I see that there are a couple questions, but they are very general questions. So there's nothing specific on the competition that we've been discussing about. So there's like a very common questions. It's about the language certification. They are not mandatory. So if you have a certification, if it's a recent one, feel free to upload it, but otherwise it's not mandatory. Of course, your level of English is supposed to be high because you're going to go to a country where English is a native language, is the language spoken, and so you have to be fluent, but it's not mandatory. Grazie Maurizio, se quindi mi contatta gestiamo l'aspetto di cui abbiamo discusso. E so feel free to, cioè mi raccomando le domande scrivetele adesso perché mancano pochi minuti e quindi questo è il momento per le domande, possibilmente specifiche visto che abbiamo gli ospiti che sono a disposizione. I don't see questions. I don't see other questions. Oh, maybe one. Ok. Come funzionano le borse postdoc? Please get in touch with me, info@fulbright.it, because this is a very specific question and we don't really have time for that. ero interessato all'ICSI di Berkeley, posso contattare il professore che sono al Banco delle Humanities? Yes, sure. Okay, there's a question for ICSI, and they're asking me, can I get in touch with you, Sean, even if I have like a background in humanities, or only you are considering only people coming from a STEM background?
No, think of ICSI as the place that bridges the gap between different academic disciplines. So if you come from the humanities, but you're dealing in abundant data or machine learning or want to make sense of a lot of information, then it makes sense. So I dropped my email into the chat if there's any questions.
Okay, sure. Please do so.
Oh no, I didn't. I sent it to Eleonora. Let me send it to
That's
everybody.
okay.
Sorry.
And there's another question for ICSI. Okay, what about law? Because we say diritto, it means it's law. Someone with a
Sure.
law background?
Sure. So mis and disinformation, the ethical implications of AI, lots of legal issues. One of our researchers spends a lot of time briefing politicians in Sacramento and Washington, D.C. on compute-related issues. He doesn't have academic citation background. You go to Google Scholar, you're not going to see him anywhere, but he spends a lot of time in Sacramento and DC talking about issues related to AI, mis and disinformation, et cetera.
Sure. Thank you. Okay, there's another question. It's a general question. Do you recommend getting in touch with the professor, with the speakers, since I'm interested in in their offer before so before applying? I would say yes, indeed, get in touch with them and discuss your interests so that you can see if you fit in their offer. So please get in touch with the panelists, with the speakers. Ok. There's just a last question. Sì, Maria Aurora, sì, per favore, info@fulbright.it. Se mi scrivi a info@fulbright.it, Maria Aurora, ne possiamo discutere. Ci sono dei requisiti preferenziali per partecipare alle borse di studio? Preferenziali a queste? No, direi di no, però please email me at info@fulbright.it so that we can discuss your own situation.
Laura, posso
Sì.
intervenire un secondo? Io per fare un attimo chiarezza, visto che le domande di questo tipo sono tante. Noi offriamo come programma Fulbright borse per ricerca in tutte le discipline e presso tutte le università americane a scelta del candidato. Questa sera abbiamo parlato solo di queste specifiche in cui lavoriamo in collaborazione con altre università. Quindi, come vi diceva Laura, contattatela e vi risponderà su tutte le domande generali che avete, perché ci sono tante altre borse. Questa sera ci eravamo concentrati su queste specifiche. Any other questions?
I don't see any new questions, so I would maybe we can finish the webinar here, and I will just write down my email once again for any questions, any inquiries that you may have, and just get in touch with me. And so thank you everyone for being here tonight. It was great meeting you all together, and hopefully see you soon. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you very much.
Arrivederci.
And good luck to the applicants. Bye.
Bye.